All right, guys, I've had the first issue with my 24 500 EXC-F at about 2,600 miles and about 80 hours runtime total. So what happened that caused me to notice it was the engagement on the clutch. When the bike was new, my clutch would engage and disengage in like this first half of the lever pull here. And then about the past week or so, I noticed that my engagement was happening from about where the lever touches the bar to about the midway point. So there was a big swing in that engagement. So the first thing I did was I popped the cap off the fluid reservoir for the clutch to check the level to see if I had a leak. And the level was good, but the fluid was very dirty. And I'll show you guys a photo of how dirty that fluid was. That fluid is filthy. That's the original fluid from when I picked up the bike. Look how dirty it is. I'm really not concerned with the level. I mean, without even accurately measuring it down to the millimeter, I mean, it's pretty close. That's a lot of clutch drift for considering the change in the lever pull. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drain this out because of how dirty it is anyway, and then re-bleed this thing. If my eyes are calibrated correctly, I would say that the Brembo reservoir for the clutch comes with a line that is manufactured into it that turns out to be right at that 4mm mark. That makes life easy. So what I did is I reverse bled the system, got all that old fluid out of there, put some new fluid in, made sure everything was good there as far as the level was concerned, and then I moved on to the next suspect. And let me show you guys what the problem was. So the culprit, clutch dampers. Let's take a close look and see what's going on with them. So if you do a close-up on these, might be hard to see on this camera, but you can start to see an edge that formed on here where the material was starting to come away. So basically these things just start to break down over time. And actually I got lucky because I noticed it, you know, when I was close to home and I was still able to ride the bike and everything and then get it apart. But you could have some issues with these. So let me show you guys some clips of what it looked like when the clutch was apart and how much play was in the system with these installed, and then what it looked like after they were replaced. We may have found the problem here. Okay, that was the problem. It's the clutch dampers. You see how tight this is now? We got no play in there. So I replaced the dampers inside here. Here's an old one. I replaced them with the Recluse clutch option. $51 part at Takamoto. And that did it. You can see we've got very little noticeable play now, whereas before I had like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. So that was the problem. I told you guys that if I had any issues with the bike, I'd let you know. And that was the first one. I was a little bit irritated at first, given how new the bike is, but those are considered a wear out component. And after having replaced the part, it's really not that difficult to do as long as you have a repair manual and the tools that you need. It's not a big deal. So if you have one of these KTM bikes that uses those clutch dampers, be aware of that. Sooner or later, you will have that issue. And me personally, I will be changing those at regular intervals so that I'm not on a ride and then, you know, get bogged down because I'm having a problem. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.